All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of 5 Rounds with Eddie and Nick, presented by CrossFitMMA.com. I am your host, Eddie Law. With me, as always, the homie, Nick Pilecki. What's up, dude?
Nothing much, man. What's going on?
It's what we usually do. All we ever do is talk MMA, so fuck it. Let's do this. Unless we're talking to ULI, we talk about everything and drink a lot. So it's kind of how we do. I'm going to take it right off. UFC Manila went down on Saturday. Really early for everybody except for the people in the Philippines. Obviously, you don't want to, most of the time they try to accommodate the U.S. side by making the cards at an ungodly hour where they're supposed to be at, so we can watch them here at like 5 or 6 in the afternoon. This time didn't do that for a good reason too. The card overall didn't look that great on paper, but it turned out to be pretty decent. Let's talk about some of the prelims here. Very first prelim between Nolan Tickman and Yao Kui is actually piss boring, but my point on that one actually is that Tickman should have won that fight. He did everything he had to do, takedowns and control and all that stuff. Should have gotten the win, did not. And he was very disappointed. Did you watch that one?
No, actually, I did not get to watch this one. I watched the next one, though, a couple days before, but I watched some of Tickman's older fights, and I like him as a fighter, but I don't know, he just didn't bring anything to the cage that night. So
yeah, it's hey, look, he didn't try to win the fight. He was just trying to score points, and he literally ran away. Yeah. I think the third round was mostly running away. The second round was like half running away. It was really weird. Anyway, let's talk about the fight you're talking about. With let me say his name right. Whatever. John De Los Reyes defeating Roldan Sanchez via rear naked choke. Roland came out firing, dude, right away, trying to get contact. And De Los Reyes, for Tate's credit, always down for a fight like that. And the fight was really fun, back and forth, lots of positions there. But in the end, De Los Reyes pulls it off with a rear naked choke. What do you think of this one?
It was a crazy fight. They just went out and threw bombs at each other and just went for it. We had foot stomps, you had everything in that whole fight. It was a good fight. They just wanted to go out and show that, hey, we deserve to be in this fight. We're gonna give you a fight of the night. And in my opinion, it was a fight of the night. It was a great fight overall. I think Roland dropped Reyes nasty in the, I think it was the third round. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it was a great fight. Second round, and it was a great fight. I really enjoyed it.
All right, and the rest of the prelims weren't that great. Guang Yao defeats Wei via TKO in the second round. Johnson defeats Lepeng via decision, unanimous decision, a weird one, but still. Then Jing Liang defeats Diego Lima. Let's talk about Diego Lima real quick. A guy that we were hoping was going to have a lot of success, right, in the UFC with his brother, Douglas over in Bellator, I believe is where he is. Turns out he's got the glassiest of all glassiest chins ever, and he gets knocked out, man. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did, and I was completely shocked. I didn't think Lima would get dropped that fast. I didn't even think he would get dropped at all, but he was a guy that I kind of put stock into too. I was like, no, Diego Lima, he can do it. No, he, like you said, he has a glass chin or a glass jaw, and damn, it sucks.
It sucks for him, but mostly because he's a prospect, and you would think that he would actually be improving as he gets older. Last night we were talking on Warriors, and Aaron made the point that maybe he needs to just let it go, hang it up, because it's kind of you keep getting knocked out that way. Sooner or later you're gonna get too many hits, and you're not improving whatsoever. Maybe he should go be a coach or something. So I don't think he's gonna be on the roster much longer. Excuse me. I don't know how many fights in a row he's lost, but still,
yeah,
it's kind of dumb for him. After that, in the main prelim, John Tuck defeats Taeheem Bang via rear naked choke in the first round. Solid win there for Tuck. What did you think?
Solid. It was a good win by Tuck. I didn't think Tuck would end up submitting Bang. I thought Bang was going to come out and just try to go for a takedown, try to control him and everything like that, but he got dropped dirty. And in my opinion, it looked bad for the Asian crowd. Or actually, it wasn't looking bad for the Asian crowd. Asian crowd started winning. All the Asian fighters started winning, and then Bang came out. I was like, no, Bang can win this one. I think he can do it. But no, he got submitted, and no, I didn't like it. It sucked for Bang.
All right, and then moving on to the main card here, Makashvili defeats Ediva via split decision. That was another weird decision. I don't know. It was weird for me. And then Philippe Nover defeats Yui Chon Nam. I don't think he won that fight. In fact, I still say he lost that fight. With look, we all know about the judging in Brazil. This was clearly one of those the hometown boy gets the nod just because he's from there. What did you think?
I have to agree. I think Nova actually lost the fight. Yeah, he had more takedowns and everything like that, but other than that, significant strikes landed. The other guy got it. He picked him apart the whole fight, and ended up. I don't understand. That's like you said. I think it was a hometown crowd giving him the nod and everything like that. It's just we need to fix that kind of judging. Like if you're in a different country, if you're in Brazil, that needs to be fixed because you can't be giving the hometown guy extra points just because you want to, just because he's that hometown guy.
I got you, yeah, for sure. And then, of course, Fred Kirby takes a hit when Neil Magny defeats Hyung-Yu Lim in the second round via TKO. Mind you, Magny got rocked pretty bad. I mean, it looked real bad for Magny for a long time. It comes back, it's a TKO win via over Lim. All that trash that Kirby was talking, basically, he got told to shut the fuck up real quick. So Magny wins that fight. What do you think? What do you think of Magny now? I mean, do you think? Because look, it was looking bad for him before. Mm-hmm. Now, we all know one fight can make a difference in a man's career, turning it around. So, what do you think? What do you think of Magny now? What do you think? Maybe does he improve? Does he get? Do you think he gets better after this?
Hopefully, he gets better. I like Neil Magny. He, in my opinion, he did need this win and this stoppage to be able to rocket his career back up and jumpstart it basically and get back up there. I like Neil Magny. He got a decisive win. I wanted this to happen, but when he got rocked that first time, I got scared. I was like, oh, that's it. We're done with Neil Magny. He was all hype and nothing else, but he needed this win and he ended up getting it. I really enjoyed the fight overall.
All right, let's talk about the fight. The most anticipated fight, I think, for the crowd. Yeah. As their hometown guy, their superhero, Mark Munoz defeated Luke Barnett via unanimous decision 29-28, and then a pair of 30-27s. Look, he won that fight. He watched it. Mark Munoz controlled everything. In fact, he hurt Barnett pretty bad with a few shots there. You saw the fight. You saw and you heard what Munoz had to say after the fight and his speech and everything. I haven't heard such a heartfelt speech in a very, very long time. Definitely enjoyed seeing the Filipino Wrecking Machine looking so good in his very last fight. It is the way you want to go out. What did you think of the whole thing?
You said it. It's the way that's the way you want to go out and end your career. Mark Munoz, he needed this win to just end his career and have a good win. And in my opinion, I thought Luke Barnett wasn't going to win or was going to win the fight. I thought he would control, use his distance, use his reach, and just stuff Mark Munoz and just keep him at bay. But no, Mark Munoz came out to fight and show, yes, I'm a UFC legend. I deserve this. And it's my last fight, so I'm going to go out and put it show. And I really enjoyed the fight. Mark Munoz, with his takedowns and his overhand rights, is just ducking the head and going for it. And that's exactly what you need to do in your retirement fight. And my hat's off to him. That speech afterwards was awesome. It was really, really good to see. And him taking off the gloves and just throw it in the middle of the cage, it was good to see. I really enjoyed it. And it sucks that we won't see Mark Munoz again, but he needed that. He needed to retire and just end his career on a good win. So good job, Mark Munoz. We'll hopefully see you either commentating in the Philippines or doing whatever you want to do. So
yeah, definitely. I enjoyed the wrestling move, right? Wrestlers, when they're done with their careers, they leave their wrestling shoes in the middle of the mat. He left his gloves, really clear, classy. Probably one of the classiest, if not the classiest, MMA fighter I think I've ever seen, as far as just the human aspect, being a respectful person, knowing what he's fighting for, knowing what who and what he represents, and then going forward with such a character, right? That dude, he's got strong character. He's one of those guys. Look, I always say never look up to sports stars, never have them as role models. That's one guy I could easily say you can have him as a role model, no problem. All right, let's talk about the co-main event, one that a couple people called boring. Gegard Mousasi defeated Costas Philippou via unanimous decision, 30-27 all the way through. It was, it was mostly a ground game, Mousasi getting on top. Philippou, look, to Philippou's credit, he was not going to get submitted. That dude was not going to get tapped. But Mousasi clearly dominated Philippou. They need to stop putting Philippou against grapplers. Just put him against strikers and let's have some fun. This dude's never going to fight for a title. It doesn't really matter. Mousasi, on the other hand, one or two more wins, you can start talking about him, if not already, talking about him getting some kind of title shot at some point. But I think you were one of the ones that said you didn't enjoy the fight. Is that right?
Yes, I didn't enjoy it. It was typical. I don't know. It reminded me of GSP, just laying him down, praying, just trying to get it. But hey, that's his game plan. It gets him the win. It gets him the W. It gets him paid. Had good job. But I don't know, if you want that title shot and you want to make a name for yourself, you got to go up and you got to try to finish. And I know he said in his post-fight interview, "Hey, I tried to finish. I tried to go for a finish. I always try to go for the finish." I didn't see any finishes attempts. Yeah, he went for some submissions. Yeah, but he didn't try that hard to get that finish. So yes, it was boring, but Musasi, if you want that title shot, you got to start making a name for yourself and start getting a good finish to get that belt.
Yeah, I always say that if I'm the head of a promotion, especially one like the UFC, you're gonna have to impress me. You can't just get W's, all right? If it was just about W's, Bader would have gotten the title shot over DC, getting 4 in a row, but they're all decisions. It's not impressive whatsoever. Bill Davis could give him the same story before he lost to, or before he got dismantled by AJ. You know, so many guys can make a story, a case for it if it's just about W's, but it's about impressing somebody, impressing the promoter, impressing the crowd, impressing the fans especially. So, all right, moving on here to the main event. Frankie Edgar versus Uriah Faber. I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of this fight, mostly because I'm a Frankie Edgar fan. And so, if Nick Diaz is fighting, I will always say, fuck yeah, Nick Diaz. If Frankie Edgar is fighting, just as much. I'm a huge Frankie Edgar fan. I enjoyed it. I give Faber zero chance to win. But when he landed, I want to say it was the third round or fourth round, he landed, or no, he was second or third or fourth. He landed a nasty knee. I'm going to say second round. He landed a nasty knee to Frankie Edgar, and I was like, oh, shit. This could be a problem, but no, Frankie Edgar, kept stay composed. Now, a lot of people on Twitter went on Twitter and said it was a boring fight. I don't agree. I just think you happen to put two very technical guys in there that know how to use footwork and know how to use feints. And yeah, maybe they don't hit the hardest, especially Frankie. But I don't know. I thought it was a great fight. I thought Frankie Edgar obviously dominated every single round. What did you think of this one?
I agree. It was a great fight. I really enjoyed it. I can understand when people are saying it wasn't entertaining, that Frankie just went for they're very defensive, they're very fast, they're very elusive. That's their game plan, and it was a good fight. Everyone was calling it a super fight. I still think it was a super fight. We got to finally see these guys go on the cage and fight it out. I did have Faber winning last week. I know we got into it a little bit last week. Mm-hmm. I did have Faber winning. I think Faber could have won if he pulled his trigger. If he pulled the trigger and went for it, but he didn't. He just stayed too defensive and just kept keeping at bay and picking his shots and everything like that. He didn't go for any submissions or anything like that. So good job, Frankie. I love Frankie Edgar. He's a great fighter. I got to watch him live. Everyone calls him boring because he just takes down and just wrestles everybody and kind of like will stand up and just strike you and not go for the finish. He does go for finishes. His last fight he finished, it was the latest finish in UFC history now that's owned by someone else right now. But he does go for the finish. He does. And it's hard to finish Uriah Faber unless you're Renan Barão. That's the only thing. You can't finish Uriah Faber. He has a gas tank for days. He's not going to quit. Even if he's not going to quit, the ref's going to quit him for it. The ref's going to be like, oh, no, you're done, when you know he's not done. He has a gas tank for days. So good job, Frankie Edgar. I think he does deserve a title shot. I've been saying he should be fighting for the title right now, but we'll have to see after the Aldo McGregor fight.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't mind seeing, if McGregor somehow, some way pulls off the win. I wouldn't mind seeing McGregor Edgar. I think Edgar, just destroys him. But real quick, obviously Frankie Edgar, I believe he needs a title shot, deserves a title shot next. You believe he deserves a title shot next. What happens with Uriah Faber? He's in between. Basically, he's kind of in between weight classes. He's one of those guys whose career is kind of dwindling down at 37, 38 years old. I believe he's 38. And he's not a guy that's going to make a run at the title anymore. He's not a guy that's going to, pile up names. Is he now a guy that is either A, gatekeeper, or B, a guy that you throw in quote-unquote super fights?
It sucks because I like Uriah Faber, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn between it. I think you give him Dominic Cruz next. When Dominic comes back, you make that fight happen before both of them either get hurt or end up ending their career, just going on a losing streak. I want to see that fight. I enjoyed both of the fights. I want to see that. Title shot, no, unless TJ Dillashaw ends up losing the belt. You give Dominic Cruz a shot. Dominic Cruz wins. Then you give him the title shot. You don't put him against Burrell again. You don't. He's not going to fight TJ. They're teammates. They're basically brothers. They're not going to fight unless they get paid enough to fight. I would love to see that fight, but he's not gonna get that title shot anytime soon unless Dominic ends up winning the belt and then they make that rematch.
God, that would be a weird. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Cruz favor again, regardless of whether or not there's a belt. But real quick, tweet over from Andrew Reed saying, I'm talking about Gegard Mousasi. He says Gegard deserves a title eliminator. You could make that case. I would really love to see him impress, like with a nasty finish. Mind you, he's had finishes in his career, but I believe he didn't he destroy Munoz?
Yes.
Is that him? Yeah, him. He destroyed Munoz. So he's one of those things. Anyway, moving on here. Let's talk about Wanderlei Silva. Last Friday, a Nevada District Court judge ruled that the punishment against Wanderlei Silva from the Nevada State Athletic Commission was to be overturned, overruled, whatever you will call it, but it was to be overturned. But that doesn't mean Wanderlei Silva's out of the woods yet. In fact, he's going to have to go in front of the Nevada State Athletic Commission once again for a rehearing without what I think is his biggest weapon. His attorney, I think his name is Ross Goodman, I think is what I read. His attorney actually argued that the NSAC did not have he didn't have jurisdiction to test Silva because he wasn't a licensed fighter when they were trying to test him. Basically, he's arguing that because Silva wasn't licensed, that the Nevada State Athletic Commission had no reason and no authority to test Wanderlei Silva, thus making the fact that he ran out the back door of his gym into his car and bailed the hell out, a non-issue. That argument has been thrown out. They can't use that anymore. So I know Wanderlei Silva went on YouTube, started talking about this, a historic thing, historic decision for MMA and for the Athletic Commission and all that, and for MMA fighters everywhere. I don't agree. I think he's screwed either way. I think he's still going to serve a suspension. Maybe not lifetime. Maybe he saved himself a lifetime ban. But at 38, 39 years old, I think he gets one, maybe 2-year ban. I think maybe even more than that, but I'm going to say at least a 2-year ban. And a $70,000 fine, maybe drop down to 20 or 30. But I don't see him out of the woods. If I don't see him out of the woods at all, I think he's still going to get hurt pretty bad. What do you think on this issue?
Yeah, I have to agree. He's still going to get hurt. Yes, it's dropped. Yes, he's not getting fined. But when he gets in front of the commission, they're still gonna drop the book on him. He'll still be suspended. I don't want to see him fight anymore. I really don't. He's a 38-year-old guy who looks 57. I don't want to see him fight anymore. His prime is done. I've loved his fights in the past, but I don't want to see him fight anymore. The only fight I do want to see, if he gets it, is Chael Sonnen, because all that hype towards that fight, I was super excited for that fight, and it got scrapped because of this kind of stuff. So I don't want to see him fight. And then I know we talked about it on Keyboard last night, maybe in 1FC. Go over the 1FC and go over there in Japan, do whatever you want to do. It's basically what it is over there. Yeah, okay, maybe we'll see him over there, but I don't think we'll see him fight in the States anytime soon.
And I would completely agree. Now, here's the thing with Wanderlei Silva is that even, let's say, by some miracle, they take away suspension as a whole, right? They say just pay us his fine and you can get back in fighting, whatever. All the stuff that he said about the UFC, all the bashing, all the videos. I mean, and look, he can't go anywhere else, all right, unless the UFC releases him, which they're not going to do, because even he tried to go to Bellator and get some money just being a promoter. Didn't work out. UFC's like, nah. So he's got that contract with the UFC. He's not going anywhere. I mean, it just looks like it's a lose-lose for Wanderlei anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. But we've seen it in the past before with Dana White saying Rampage will never be in the octagon again. Tito Ortiz will never be in the octagon again. We've seen them in the octagon again. It's if it puts money in Dana White's pocket, he'll re-sign him. But I don't think he will. I think if we do see him back fighting in the States, he'll be in Bellator. He'll be doing those freak show fights against Kimbo, against King Mo, against those kind of fighters, just to pass the torch and just have a legend over there. I still want to see that Sonnen fight really bad. If Sonnen can, after his suspension and everything, I want to see that fight. I want to see Sonnen in a cage fighting at least one more time.
You know what's funny about Sonnen, though, is that dude was he was slime. I remember when he went for the Athletic Commission, he was like, whatever you guys want to do, I'll do whatever. He admitted everything. They gave him a 2-year ban because he was so nice. They said, you can come and help out and teach young fighters. First of all, he didn't do any of that shit. And second of all, once it was written in stone, they can't change the the suspension or anything. So he's like, hey, I got 2 years, whatever. So I was very sly on his part. I will say though that maybe because because the money issue, right?
Yeah.
Because of the money issue, Dana White might say, hey, he's still a draw. People still want to watch him. Maybe I'll keep him. So that's one possibility. The other possibility, and this was brought up by Andrew Reid here on Twitter, saying stop lobbying. Stop lobbying crap at one championship. They want to have proper fighters. I was about to say maybe Vanderlei should go to ONE FC and go fight a bunch of guys over there. And of course Andrew's boy Max saying I love Vondi, but he's been acting more bonkers than usual recently. Very true. It might even be the head trauma, but all those videos are kind of weird, man.
Yeah.
Would you say Vanderlei Silva to ONE FC?
Yeah, well, ONE FC needs names. They have Ben Askren, they have Rich Franklin over there being their promoter and everything like that. They need some names. They have their younger names, which I like to watch, but it's not getting the casual MMA fans over there. They need to get the casual MMA fans over there if they want to pull up more numbers and be more relevant. So I think you sign a Vanderlei Silva. I think they should have signed Phil Davis. I think if they signed Phil Davis, that would have been better than Bellator. But yeah, I kind of want to see him over there. I think it would be interesting.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, way off topic, completely off topic. In fact, not even close to MMA. Okay, but I was looking at my Twitter and I got followed by @_Furious8. Here's the bio for Furious 8. Okay, Furious 7 was amazing. Now let's get hyped and pumped for the upcoming Furious 8. This has to be a joke. It really has to be a joke. Twitter, man, start fucking policing this shit. I'm tired of this crap. You always get somebody like Maxine or fucking whoever followed you, some chick with her tits all hanging out and shit. You know what I mean? It's like followed you, so you go click on it, and it's a bunch of like random generic fucking quotes and shit that they fucking tweet out. Sorry, that shit bothers the hell out of me. Let's get back to my MMA here. Jessica Aguilar from World Series of Fighting, no longer. They've actually released. She worked out a what do you call it? An amicable release. She's no longer part of World Series of Fighting. Now a free agent and trying to get on the UFC roster. Now recently we heard some chatter from Cookie Monster, from Carla Esparza, about Miss Jessica Aguilar, saying that she knows for sure that Aguilar has used PEDs in the past. Now she didn't say that she saw her do it, but she said that people told her that they're the ones that stuck the needle in her butt to get her. Literally, I think it's almost word for word what she said. They stuck the needle in her butt to get some peds in her. And we know Aguilar owns a win over Esparza, and Aguilar went on an interview on a certain shit show and said that that she feels bad for Carla Esparza that continues losing, and it's a weird situation there. But answer two things: one, you want to see Aguilar in the UFC, and two, do you want to see her beat on Esparza?
Yes, I do. Honestly, I'm not the one that hates Carla. I kind of like her. She's kind of like the GSP of her division. She just takes down and just holds you there. But I like Aguilar a lot, and I think Aguilar is going to come into UFC, and she's going to totally destroy Cookie Monster, and she's going to get a run at the title. And that's actually the person that we need in the strawweight division to get a run for the title. Like we said last night on Keyboard, she was ranked #1 before Carla. So it will be basically #1 versus #1 to see who the true #1 is. So I think Aguilar would destroy Cookie Monster.
Here's the thing, though. I'm kind of sick of Esparza's shit, dude, to be honest with you. And on Tough, was it Tough 19, Tough 20, whatever it was, Tough 19? No, Tough 20, right? With Ronda?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. On Tough 20, no, it wasn't Ronda, it was Pettis. Sorry.
It was Pettis.
Pettis and Melendez. On Tough 20, I found Esparza to be the most annoying chick in the whole group. Mm-hmm. I really did. She was irritating as hell, man. I mean, her and Herrick were pretty bad.
Yes.
All right.
I think Herring was worse than Carla. Herring's voice hurts my brain.
but I got sick of Esparza's shit. Just her smug attitude and all that. And then she wins the title. That's great. And then gets stomped on by Jędrzejczyk, a much better fighter. So I just want to think Esparza's confidence is shot to crap, but she needs to hype herself up a little bit to get us over another fight. And I think she's done it. I think UFC's gonna sign Aguilar to beat on Esparza. And then Aguilar's going to work her way up to a title shot. I don't know if she could beat Johanna, but, Aguilar's a bad chick. You don't think so?
No one's beaten Johanna for a while. There's no one in that division I think can take her. She's a beast.
I'll give you one name, and it's
Don't
really,
you
really
dare!
easy.
No, god damn it. Go ahead.
Easy. I think she's gonna come up like Rocky and upset Johanna. Rose Namajunas is gonna be the champion by 2016.
Okay, I can agree with that. I love Rose. I thought you were gonna say someone else.
Who do you think I was gonna say?
Who's your little girlfriend in the strawweight? Rhonda Marcos.
Random Marcos is not gonna beat Johanna. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
She needs to build it. She needs to get better. She needs to get way better. But
okay, I can agree with the Rose.
by the way,
yeah.
if we're talking about the girlfriend thing, that's Jesse's girl. I believe it's Jesse's girl. I'm not 100%. I lost track of all that shit. Whatever. I'm a Rose Namajunas guy. Okay, that's me.
Hey,
anyway,
I was saying she was gonna win the whole thing during.
That's what I thought.
And when she got up to that finals, I was so excited. And then, fuck, goddamn Cookie Monster.
All right, let's move on here. Talking about Rousimar Palhares, who is fighting Jake Shields, defending his title against Jake Shields at World Series of Fighting. I believe I lost the number 22. All right, World Series of Fighting 22. Now Jake Shields, and by the way, if you want to hear what Jake Shields has to say about Rousimar Palhares, go to standandbangmma.com and listen to their recent show where Jake Shields calls Rousimar Palhares a psycho, among a lot of other things. Not to mention, he calls this dude Ryan a douchebag. It's actually a pretty funny show. StandingBangMMA.com with our boy Aaron Robbins and Fred Kirby. Check that out after this show. But, yeah, I mean, look, Jake Shields has been talking a lot of crap about Rousimar. Rousimar, to his credit, apparently writes. I didn't know that. I didn't know Rousimar could write anything. So apparently he wrote some letter that was translated by his manager, a.k.a. his manager wrote it for him, and basically, telling Jake Shields that he respects him, and a bunch of other stuff, that he doesn't know where all this stuff is coming from. And he goes, I'll shake your hand or your foot at the fight. That's just, that's completely paraphrasing, but still, you read the letter, man. What the hell's up with Rousimar?
He's a scary dude, I'll give you that one, but he's nuts. He's completely insane. Jake Shields isn't a fighter just to throw away. He's seasoned vet and everything like that. But I don't think Jake Shields is going to win this one. I think Rousimar's going to shake that foot. He's going to take him, and he's going to submit him by a heel hook or a knee bar or some leg lock. It's going to happen. But you can't sleep on Jake Shields either. I think he's insane writing this letter to him. It's just the craziest thing I've ever seen in MMA so far, besides John Jones.
John Jones face deep in a mound of coke and hands full of cash. Yeah, he went back for cash. Okay, I'm sure that's exactly what it was, motherfuckers. All right, moving on here. We're done with Rousimar Palhares. Let's talk about okay. I'm gonna preface this by saying this. Miesha Tate is gorgeous. Miesha Tate is fine as hell. Miesha Tate is a talented fighter. Miesha Tate needs to shut the hell up. I'm sick of her talking. I'm done talking. I'm sick of hearing her talk. But Miesha Tate should not be talking no more, okay? Unless her words, yeah, there you go. Unless her words are I finally got rid of that shitbag Brian. I don't want to hear anything else she has to say. She's got nothing valuable to say. She's got nothing. You know who she's talking about? Miesha Tate talking about fighting Chris Cyborg at 140 pounds because it's her job. Taking a slight shot over at Ronda Rousey for not taking the fight out at 140. Look, you would take. Look, first of all, Miesha Tate would take that fight just the fact that you would get paid pretty good for taking that fight. But besides that, doesn't she have a fight coming up with Jessica Ai? Okay, why are we overlooking? Jessica Ai could stomp her. All right, she needs to focus on her fight. What do you think on this shit?
Exactly, she needs to focus on her fight. You're insane, Miesha, if you think you're going to take on Cyborg. I know you want to get back at Ronda. I know it's been a while since you threw some words to Ronda's way, but this is what you're trying to do. You're not going to get that title shot again. I would like you to get that title shot again because I would like you to shut the hell up and get submitted again because it's going to happen. But if you want to fight Cyborg, I said it last night, you're going to die. You're going to get destroyed. Cyborg is a monster. I'm scared to fight her. I'm pretty sure Eddie's scared even to be in the same room as her. If you're as pretty as you're smart, because you're not fucking smart, it's not gonna happen. You're never gonna fight Cyborg. It's not gonna happen. If you do, you're gonna die. Yes, bottom line. Keep your eyes on Jessica Ai. That's all you need.
You know what? If this is Keyboard Warriors, I would throw out what I told you on chat about Miesha Tate. But that's too mean, I think. Although I guarantee everyone agree with me. Anyway, but yeah, Miesha Tate, chill out, relax. Let's focus on Jessica Eye and trying to get your face smashed by Evil Eye, who is a legitimate threat. Believe me, she is. All right, let's talk UFC 187 going on this Saturday. We finally, everyone should be bubble wrapped right now. Everyone should be in padded rooms with full service and stuff. Maybe like treadmills so they can shed weight and all that stuff. That's about it. Shouldn't be doing anything else. Obviously headlined by 2 title fights, co-main. Weirdly enough to say co-main, but Chris Weidman versus Vitor Belfort in the co-main for the middleweight title, and for the light heavyweight title, the vacant light heavyweight title, Anthony Rumble Johnson against Daniel DC Cormier. But while I'm pulling up the card that I should have had pulled up already, Nick, what do you think on those 2 title fights? Now, I'm not saying give your pick just yet or your analysis, but look, originally it was supposed to be John Jones against Anthony Johnson, and we should have seen Vitor versus Weidman since 2013. I mean, injuries obviously, but also mishaps and mistakes have been affecting title fights. But let's actually, while I put this up, talk about the light heavyweight championship. A lot of people saying it's not the real title because it's not John Jones. Do you agree with that?
No, I do totally agree. I don't agree. No, I don't agree with that. That's stupid. Look, if you're the champion, you have a code of conduct to follow. You're the champion. You are supposed to be not doing the stupid stuff that John Jones did. John Jones beat himself. He lost the belt. He beat up himself. So you lost the belt. It is not the interim championship. It is not the fake championship. Yeah, these guys didn't beat John Jones, but John Jones beat himself. This is the new light heavyweight championship. And I'm not going to say who I think is going to win, but we will have a brand new champion, and they will be a legitimate champion. I don't care what you say, if it's fake that John Jones beat himself.
All right, running down the card real quick. The UFC Fight Pass card will begin 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific on UFCFightPass.com. We will have Justice Scoggins against Josh Sampo, the Gremlin. Always a weird nickname with that guy. Then Islam Makhachev against Leo. Oh, no. This guy's last name is Kuntz. Kuntz. But not, you know what?
You think about it, it's like cat cunt. Leo.
No, it's not. It's Kuntz. It's just cunt. I mean,
but
sorry, dude.
It's the lion.
Yeah, it's the lion, but Leo Kuntz. I'm never going to call him Leo. I'm going to call him Kuntz. Fucking terrible. Wait. I will be doing play-by-play on Twitter this Saturday during the entire card, basically, except for the Fox Sports 1 prelims. So I'll be changing venues at that point to watch the main event or the main card. But
okay.
I'm gonna be like Kuntz this and Kuntz that and Kuntz this because fuck is his first name. All right, it's too interesting. You can't tell me your name is Kuntz and have me not call you Kuntz repeatedly. It's gonna happen. All right, Leo Kuntz, you fucked up. You should change your name, bro. All right, I'm just saying. All right, moving on after that fight with Kuntz. Mike Pyle against Colby Covington will headline the UFC Fight Pass prelims. Then we move on to Fox Sports 1 prelims, which start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, kicked off by the lovely and talented Rousimar Palhares taking on Nina Ansaroff, who I believe is a pretty recent signing for the UFC. Mm-hmm. After that, we get a pretty fun fight, and I say fun fight in every sense of the word. By the way, this card is stacked as shit. Uriah Hall taking on Rafael Natal against Sapo. Look, two incredible fighters. I think Uriah Hall has the edge, but Rafael Natal you cannot sleep on. What do you think on this one, man?
Hall all the way. I will jump on Fred's hype train and jump on Uriah Hall's hype train. Uriah Hall's a monster. I watched that whole season of Tough when he destroyed Adam Sella. I got up out of my seat and thought he killed him. I thought he was dead. I like his fights. He lost to Eddie. He lost to Eddie Law in the past. But no, I like him a lot. In my opinion, he was the next Anderson Silva in the middleweight division. He's just wrecking people, but he needs to find out kind of who he is. He's still young. He just still needs to find his whole rhythm and everything like that, but he destroys people. Look, if you're fighting your fight with a broken toe the whole fight and saying I'm fine, and they carry you out of the cage and you still won the damn fight, good job. Go Uriah Hall.
Yeah, I actually I would agree with you. I think you're right. I was going to take that fight. But after that, we get Josh Berkman, the guy who signed as a sacrificial lamb, and I think ended up did he beat Hector Lombard? Or he lost to him, right?
You really think he beat Hector Lombard?
Dude, it's been a while. I'm tired as fuck. I can't remember.
No one beats Hector Lombard but Hector Lombard. No, Hector Lombard won.
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't. My brain just didn't explode. All right, fuck that comment. Josh Berkman against Dong Hyun Kim, the Stun Gun. Finally, you see Stun Gun back in the cage. I enjoy watching Stun Gun. I think he's gonna destroy Berkman, but you never know. All right, and then of course the main prelim. This is why this fight means something. John Dodson taking on Zach Makovsky. Fun size. Dodson's been away for a while. He had a knee injury or something like that. Finally coming back. He's the guy that a lot of people think would come back and give Demetrius Johnson, the flyweight champ, a fight. First of all, I'm picking Dodson. I'm pretty sure you are too. But do you think Dodson can defeat Demetrius Johnson?
Yes, I do. I really do. I think he has the skill to do it. He has the speed to do it. That first fight against him, that was very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. That's like one of the few fights that DJ couldn't actually finish and get his full rhythm in. He couldn't do it. And I think the Magician is that person. And it makes me so mad because this fight should be on the main card because that main card's so stacked. Even with the next fight that we're going to talk about, I think he's the next title shot. You should throw him on the main. Well, no, actually, I'll scratch that because you know what? You need to make a name for the flyweights, and if he straight up demolishes his opponent, then we can talk about DJ versus him. So yeah.
All right, and kicking off the main card at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, two guys that have lost to Demetrius Johnson. Joseph Benavidez ranked number 2, and then number 5, my boy straight out of Phoenix, straight out of Maryville, Phoenix, Arizona, John Moraga. This should be a throwdown fight. Both guys, look, I know Joe has a jiu-jitsu that he likes to talk about and everything, but for the most part, most of these guys stand and throw hands. Mm-hmm. And I've seen Moraga, box and strike. He's really, really good. He's no punk on the ground either. I think he's a much closer fight than people think. A lot of people saying Benavidez is going to smash him. I don't agree at all. I got Moraga in an upset, but or upset. As much of a fight between number 2 and number 5 could be an upset. But I got John Moraga in this fight. Who you got?
I don't know. It's going to be a good fight. I'm going to go with Team Alpha Male's Benavidez. I think Benavidez is just a lot faster. His takedowns are a lot cleaner. But I do like John Moraga. Like you said, he's a great fighter. He just doesn't give up or anything like that. But I think Joey B is going to end up getting the win.
All right. John Moraga says no. And then after that, we get a fight of heavyweights as Travis Hapa Brown taking on Andrei Arlovsky. Travis Brown has switched over to Glendale Fighting Club over with Ronda Rousey, Jake Ellenberger, and that small cast of UFC fighters, but very effective fighters. And a lot of boxers in that gym, by the way. But taking on Andrei Arlovsky, who he used to train with over at Jackson's. Mm-hmm. I'm leaning Hapa. I think Travis Brown's on the way back up. I think Andrei Arlovsky's kind of done. Not done, but he's a little on the older side. I think if he beats Travis Brown, he can make it a name for bigger fights and maybe one day a title shot. But I think Travis Brown, basically remaking himself, trying to make another run at the title. I got Travis Brown. Who you got?
I gotta go Travis Brown too. He's a good fighter. He has that knockout power. He's just gonna go in and demolish you. Now he's training with Ronda Rousey. If he wins by armbar, Ronda Rousey is the best person in the fucking world. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. And after that, we get a fight that should have been a lot more exciting than it's going to be, I think. As Donald Cerrone, who's supposed to take a Khabib Nurmagomedov, no longer because Khabib, injured his knee again, I believe is what it was. Taken now on John Makdessi, who just came off a win. It's a weird fight. Nobody, a lot of people are not counting out John Makdessi, but on short notice and against a guy on a 7-fight win streak, I got Cerrone all the way. Who do you got?
You can't sleep on Makdessi. He's a great fighter. He finishes fights. He goes in to finish. And so does Cowboy. He goes in to fight. If you've been watching the embedded videos, Cowboy's been doing his same old shit, just doing whatever he wants before fight camp just to stay calm. But I honestly think Cowboy's going to take this one. If he keeps it standing and keeps it at distance, I think Cowboy can win if he starts using his leg kicks and his head kicks and everything like that. But like I said, you can't sleep on John Makdessi. Makdessi can finish you at any time. So Cowboy needs to stay alert and everything like that. So I'm going to go with Cowboy on this one. I really like Cowboy. I think he deserves a title shot. I don't think he'll ever win the title, but I think he deserves it. So hopefully he gets this win.
All right. After that, Andy co-main event, the first title fight of the night. Vitor Belfort, number 3, the Phenom, who's been fighting for freaking ever, finally getting his title fight against Chris Weidman, the guy who hasn't fought forever due to injury. Weidman versus Vitor, I tend to think that because Weidman is just a crazy wrestler and the younger guy, and he didn't really need TRT or anything. Not to mention Vitor coming off of TRT and looking way different. You see the pictures of him before and after, his neck is not as big. He's not as strong. He seems a little more frail. But he's still Vitor Belfort. I'm going with Chris Weidman to retain his title. Who do you got?
Fuck. It's hard, honestly, because, I'm an Anderson Silva fan, so I kind of hate Chris Weidman personally. But look, Vitor has been fighting since 97. He's been fighting since he was, 19, I believe, in the UFC. He's a monster. He's a Phenom for a reason. But the only way he wins is if he finishes in the first or second round. There's no way he goes a distance and beats Chris Weidman up the whole fight. I shouldn't say no way because it is mixed martial arts. You never know what can happen. But I think Chris Weidman is going to just pick him apart the whole fight and end up getting a decision win. Chris Weidman's on a roll. He's being, I think he said in the bed, he's a Brazilian killer. He's a Brazilian person that's beaten all. He's the American person beating all the Brazilians. So I think he's going to add Vitor to that name or that list of Brazilians that he beat.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Chris Weidman's just going to stomp him. But all right, and then brings us to the main event, a fight with a lot of controversy, not because of who's there, but not because of who's not there. As Jon Jones was stripped of his light heavyweight title due to messing up real bad, just real bad, possibly going to jail. You never know. But look, he's out of the picture. He's got no title, not even in the UFC right now. He's on the roster, but he's not active. We now have Daniel Cormier stepping in against Anthony Rumble Johnson. Johnson earning this title fight after smashing Alexander Gustafsson, a guy who people were hoping would get a rematch against Jon Jones and still might. So let's go with you first. What do you think on this fight?
Look, forget about Jon Jones. This fight, in my opinion, is better than the Jon Jones-Johnson fight, in my opinion. I think Jon Jones was just straight up pick apart Anthony Johnson. This fight, in my opinion, is a better fight. DC, the king of the grind, he's going to go out there, he's going to grind his heart out, and he's going to try to get that win. Anthony Johnson, who has that knockout power, whenever he wants to knock you out, he will go out there and knock you out. But I think Cormier's been hit harder from other people. He used to be a heavyweight. He used to take punches from Rory Nelson, from Bigfoot Silva when Bigfoot was in his prime. He takes punches from Cain Velasquez on a daily in the sparring room. So I think he's not going to get dropped. I think DC is going to end up tiring out Anthony Johnson in the third or fourth round, ended up just picking him apart the whole fight, getting the clinch, taking him down, and doing some good ground and pound. So I think we're going to have a new champion, but it's going to be Daniel Cormier.
All right, here's what I think on this fight. I think it can go, well, obviously it's going to go in 2 ways, but I think for Anthony Johnson to win, he's going to have to catch DC. He's going to have to knock him out. Mm-hmm. Daniel Cormier is a tough dude. He excuse me. He brings pressure. He tries to take you down. I think if Anthony Johnson's going to win, he's going to have to knock him out in the first round, or in the beginning of one of the rounds. I think halfway through the second round, he's gassed out. That's the way Anthony Johnson fights. He'll be gassed out by the second round, in my opinion. So what I think is going to happen, I think DC is going to avoid the big punch in the beginning. He's going to clinch. He's going to take him down. He's going to grind him out, and he's going to win the title via decision and be our new light heavyweight champion. Now, real quick, we were talking about before, do you think this is the real UFC title, the real title?
Yes, I do. It is the real title. Like I said before, Jon Jones beat himself. If you're the champion that beat himself, he lost the belt due to poor decisions. It happens. You beat yourself. So I think it's going to be. I know it's a new champion. We'll have a new champion, and when if Jon Jones comes back, maybe he'll get a title shot and he'll fight for his belt, quote unquote, his belt again. But he lost it. He's not champion anymore.
All right. That's I guess I think the popular opinion on that is that it is not the real light heavyweight title because it's not against the real champion. Look, when Jon Jones comes back, I give him a title shot. Just because of the fact that I mean, hopefully he comes back clean and right, and you know, like won himself and everything, and no longer, you know, I guess you know, messed up on drugs or anything. But
like you got to put it in this aspect too. Look at Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz got his belt stripped of him due to injury. He lost the belt. Now we have the new champion who was Renan Barão, and now TJ Dillashaw. Is Dominic Cruz still the champion of his division? No, he's not. He lost. He kind of beat himself in the way he pushed too hard in the ring or in the gym and ended up injuring himself. So he lost the belt. It's the same thing. So.
And you know what's funny? And speaking of which, is there's actually been SBNation.com just put out an article that saying that Dana White has said that John Jones will get an immediate title shot upon return.
No.
So I guess that's the answer.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, relax. Anyway, let's move it to the last segment of the show. This week's top 5. And this week's top 5 is top 5 shocking finishes. Obviously, that's self-explanatory. Nick Pilecki, your number 5 shocking finish.
Number 5 is going to be Gabriel Gonzaga, Mirko Cro Cop 1. When Cro Cop got Cro Copped, he was that guy with that kick to the head and was going to finish you. And Gonzaga did that. My jaw dropped. I was completely shocked at that. So that's going to be my number 5.
All right, my number 5. Daniel Cormier against Bigfoot Silva in the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix. If you remember, Daniel Cormier came in as an alternate. He had to replace somebody coming in. Fought Bigfoot Silva. No one gave him a chance. He came in with some, a straight left and an uppercut and dropped Bigfoot, grinded him out, took him out. I believe it was a TKO, if I'm not mistaken. But it might not be a TKO. I don't know. But anyway, Daniel Cormier going on to win the entire Grand Prix. And to me, that finish against Bigfoot Silva was what kicked it all off. All right, number 4, sir.
My number 4, it's a pair, because I'm gonna keep this one together. It's gonna be the Anderson Silva Chris Weidman fights, both of them. Both of them is my number 4. Shocking finish for me personally, and it was a shocking finish. He got knocked out. Anderson Silva doesn't get knocked out. He got knocked out, and then he broke his leg. It was 2 shocking finishes. I'm pairing them together because it was against the same opponent. It was completely shocking. In my opinion, my jaw dropped. It just ruined my whole day and my whole night, and I got drunk both of those nights. So
clearly, I remember. Anyway, all right. My number 4, Fabricio Verdum tapping Fedor Emelianenko. Something you never thought you'd see is Fedor losing ever, and then Verdum did it. And that was shocking as hell. All right, you never thought you'd see that the Russian tap to anybody, but you definitely never thought you see him lose. But Verdum, and of course, since he's coming out to fight against Cain Velasquez in Mexico, UFC 188, I think is what it is, or 189, one of those. Is it 188?
I think it's 188.
Okay. Well, he's fighting Cain, and what bothers me about Verdum, if I'm Cain, is if I take him down, that dude's big, and he's got long arms and long legs. He's lanky. He's good jiu-jitsu, and he can control you on the ground. Fedor got on top of him, tried to ground and pound him. Didn't work out. Gets tapped and loses. And that is anytime Fedor lost, even after that, when he lost to, I think, Bigfoot, it was still shocking as hell. So, yeah, that was my number 4. Your number 3, sir.
Number 3 is JDS versus Cain Velasquez when JDS dropped Cain Velasquez on the first Fox card. Cain Velasquez was a monster. He still is a monster. I thought he was going to go out and just demolish JDS, but when JDS caught him with that overhand right, and we've never seen Cain Velasquez get dropped like that, completely shocked in my opinion. He won the heavyweight belt that night, and then we got to see that fight again. It just blew my mind. Didn't expect that to happen, and I know you probably were shocked as hell to that one too.
Yeah, to me, when I saw that fight, I was kind of like, God damn it, that would happen, But I knew right away there was going to be a rematch that Cain was just going to grind him and make him look silly, which exactly what ended up happening. So, all right, my number 3 fight, Chris Weidman against Anderson Silva, number 2, where Anderson Silva snapped his leg and grossed me the hell out. I mean, look, here's the thing. When I watched that fight, I was at a friend's house on a huge screen, right? Mm-hmm. And the screen is up close. I literally sit on the ground just staring and watching the fight. When I saw him kick, I actually got to see his foot in real time wrap around the leg. Yeah, wrap around the leg, and I immediately go, holy shit! I start yelling, and not to mention I was drunk as shit. And I was like, holy fuck, freaking out. And they're like, what? I'm like, oh my god, look, and no one had seen it. No one else had seen it. Then they saw it and got grossed out. But to see the greatest of all time, snapped his leg like that. That shocked the hell out of me, man. So definitely number 3, Chris Weidman against Anderson Silva, part 2.
Yeah.
All right, your number 2.
Before I get into my number 2, I remember since you shared where you were, I was actually at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Dallas, right in front of the screen when it happened. It was day before Eagles Cowboys, and same moment. I saw it before everyone else saw it. I was staring at it when he broke his leg. I screamed. My girlfriend looked at me. She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, I knew. But yeah, that was my story. But my number 2, I'm kind of torn between which one is my 1 and 2, but I'm gonna have to say Edson Barbosa with this wheel kick. It made SportsCenter top 10 or top. Yeah, it made SportsCenter top 10. That never happens ever in UFC history, even to date. It was the craziest knockout, one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen. Just, it was super clean, super crisp, and landed perfectly. And we never seen it again though. But no, that was a great fight. So gotta mention that one.
Yeah. You know what's funny about those wheel kicks? They didn't come in until later on in the game. Wheel kicks have been around forever in martial arts, but no one dared try it in the UFC. Well, not in the UFC, but in MMA as a whole. Someone tried it before Edson, but Edson landed it beautifully. So yeah, that's a good pick right there. My number 2, GSP against Matt Serra, when Matt the Terracera drops GSP and puts him down to win the belt, shocking the hell out of everybody, because that was after the comeback. I believe it was after the comeback Ultimate Fighter show, which Matt Serra was on, came back, fought GSP, took him out, and won the title. That shocked the hell out of me, man.
Yeah. And actually, we're matching number 1s, Matt Serra, GSP. GSP was that guy that was not going to be beaten. He was that guy. He was that good. And Matt Serra said, "Forget you," and came out and ended up destroying him. It was completely shocked me. And then years later, we have Chris Weidman knocking out the best of the world too. So it's just, I don't know what's going on at that Serra-Longo camp, or that Longo camp back in the day, and now the Serra-Longo camp, whatever they're doing with their fighters, they need to keep incorporating it, because their fighters are climbing the ladder and been shocking the world lately. So even back then, they've been shocking the world. All
right, so just to recap your top 5, starting at 5.
I forgot. Okay, Crow Cop getting Crow Copped. Wow, what was my number 4? All right, the Anderson Silva series. Yeah. Then the Cain Velasquez RDA. Mm-hmm. Then the wheel kick from Edson Barbosa. And then Matt Serra, GSP.
All right, my top 5 was number 5, DC versus Bigfoot. Number 4, Verdum versus Fedor. Number 3, Weidman Silva 2. Number 2, GSP Serra. And my number 1 most shocking finish of all time, in my opinion, Weidman knocking out Anderson the Spider Silva after Silva was playing around. That's number 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Weidman Silva 1 is my most shocking finish. Look, man, you never thought that was gonna happen. No matter how many times Anderson Silva played with people, messed around, pretended to be hurt, to actually have him get knocked out by somebody was shocking. I thought Chris Weidman had a really good shot of taking him down and grinding him out for a decision, or maybe even ground and pounding him a bit. I did not think he was gonna knock him out on his feet. That was shocking to me. So that's my number 1 pick for top 5 shocking finishes. All right. So what's up?
No, go for it.
No, what are you saying?
No, you're good.
You said you're number what?
No, it's good.
Oh, okay. I think I hurt your feelings there with picking that one first.
You kind of did. So.
All right. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in to 5 Rounds with Eddie and Nick, presented by CrossroadsMMA.com. Follow Nick at NickXMicro. You can follow the page at CrossroadsMMA. Follow Keyboard Warriors at Keyboard MMA. I keep forgetting to tell people to saw that one. And you can follow me at Elaw31. Tomorrow we have a show, and another episode of That Just Happened. What are we watching this time?
We're watching the last ever WEC card, headlined by Anthony Pettis and Ben Henderson.
Yeah, very last one. If you remember correct, if everyone remembers, and I know I remember correctly, it was a Showtime Kick card, and it was an incredible fight to watch. So definitely come back tomorrow. We will tweet the timeout and everything. We will tweet out the links and everything. So keep an eye on our Twitters for that. And anything else you got for the people, Nick?
All good.
All right. Keyboard Warriors is already up. Make sure you go to CrossroadsMMA.com for Keyboard Warriors. You can find a link on there. You scroll down on my Twitter, you'll find a link on there. You can find it anywhere at this point. We're putting it out there. But Keyboard Warriors is already out. Subscribe on iTunes. Yeah, go to iTunes and look up Crosswinds MMA. Get all our shows on your iPod or phone. And yeah, it's going to be it for us today. So for my buddy Nick and myself, thanks for tuning in. And everyone have a good day. We'll see you guys later.